Hi guys, today is the first Monday in December, which means we're doing a prompt for scrapbooks and memories. And I am doing this is the last prompt. December is the last prompt for this run, for this go around. And I am doing an altered index card. I'm actually making several of these. This is my first one, and I'm doing it with parchment paper, part of it. So that was the prompt, parchment paper. And what I'm doing is a recipe card. And on one side, and I actually thought this was going to be too dark, but the color isn't bad. I did take a black pen and kind of go in and work on the stamp just a little bit. Not that it truly matters, because it's an old vintage recipe card intended to look a little worn. But anyhow, that's the back side recipe. It looks like somebody might have baked it, but that's the back side. And then on the front side, I'm going to put the parchment paper. And that's going to be part of my parchment paper prompt. It's the card, the recipe card. Okay, we're going to find it, smooth it out, And I was thinking this part about the fresh berries looks good on there. Right there. Yes, fresh berries and shortcake and whipped cream can be good for you. So y'all, if we're going to get a recipe card, don't we want one that says, okay, on the back, you can put your recipe for a strawberry shortcake. Yes, yes, yes. I'll let that dry. There you go. I just need to smooth this out. And then I'll take my good sturdy, hefty glue, and we'll go back over this. Look at that. Yes. Fresh berries, shortcake, and whipped cream can be good for you. That's my kind of index card. It says the most famous dessert made with shortcake is strawberry shortcake. Sliced strawberries are mixed with sugar, allowed to sit up to an hour or so until the strawberries have surrendered a great deal of their juices. The shortcakes are split and the bottoms are covered with a layer of strawberries juice and whipped cream, typically flavored with sugar, but it's a tea, and vanilla. The top is replaced and more strawberries and whipped cream are added onto the top. Some convenience versions of the shortcake are not made with a shortcake, i.e. biscuit at all, but instead use a base of sponge cake or sometimes a com muffin. I think that's corn. The first strawberry shortcake recipe appeared in the English cookbook as early as in 1588, guys. According to Driscoll's Berry Growers, by 1850, strawberry shortcake was also a well-known biscuit and fruit dessert served with hot butter and sweetened cream. In the U.S., strawberry shortcake parties were held as celebration of the summer fruit harvest. This tradition is upheld in some parts of the United States on June 14th, which is Strawberry Shortcake Day. It wasn't until 1910 that French pastry chefs replaced the topping with heavy whipped cream. So that's our topping for our index card, and hopefully that'll stay down. So let's tear now here along the edge. And then we're going to make something else with the leftovers. To see how good this would make, we could do a whole set of these as recipe cards. Just doing the one. Because this one is going into a whole different project that I'm working on, and I'll just already have one done. Okay, so here we go. There is our bottom piece. Now I'm gonna need, this thing does not want to stick. Why did I think it would, guys? Why? I don't know. Okay. Now later I'm gonna print some clip art. I think maybe and put a little, I don't know, maybe a little something around the edge, but I like it the way it is, to be honest with you. I think it looks good. And then our recipes on the back. So that's one way I use baking paper. Now let's say this did not have that already printed on it. You could probably pull something from a recipe book and add it, right? Add your recipe. Yeah, I did not think this was going to stick too good, because it's sort of like a waxed paper, but that's okay. Live and learn. Okay, now we'll just make sure we're there. We're there. Yes. Let's come up here. We'll just put more here. I hope this is going to stick. I might have to break out the Fabrifix. We shall see. I didn't give this a chance to dry though, for sure. Okay. Now we are in December, you all. This is nuts. My birthday is coming up right around, that's the last day of the year, thank goodness. I mean, I know I still wait, you know, everybody waits a year, but for me it almost seems like I'm cheating this system because I get my birthday on the very last day of the year. So that's kind of cool. Right, we'll just go cut along this edge. And then I'm going to trim along this edge. So we got this one done. This is, like I said, one way of using parchment paper. Now, again, if you didn't have this, you could stamp it. And I might do that, making this one a postcard, you know what I mean? Or a postcard like. Let's go. Should I do that one? You should be able to read through it. I think it might be kind of cool, actually. Let's find out. Let's find out, because it is for a journal, right? You could put it in a recipe journal. Like, my point is, if you were to send this as a postcard, right? You could write your letter on the back. That's what I'm saying. Look at it. Yes, look. See? You can see it, but it doesn't ruin the image. Yay! Okay. There's our first one. All right, so the next one, you're going to want your paper to be even. You're going to take this top piece off. Take this guy off, and I think I'm going to switch over to my Fabrifix just in case, or my double-sided tape. Okay, so this one's going to come in. This one's going to come in. And we're gonna make it even, okay? We'll just fold this to the top. And this one to the bottom. And the same here. So maybe you're doing something for Christmas or a birthday or some sort of a party. Okay, then you want to, I'm going to fold the bottom. Goes this way. Wait, you want that to be the front. It's going to come this way. That'll be upside down. Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Okay. So this one will fold over, right? Let's get it even. Get it even here. Seems to be a little off. This side seems to be a little wider, and I don't know why. There we go. That'll work. I don't know why that was happening. But that seems better. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the back side, but we're going to flip it up. Okay. Flip it up. All right, then the cutting part takes over. We're going to have to cut this here pretty soon. Okay. We are going to open it back up. And we know that our bottom piece folds up this way. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this piece. Put it all the way in and off. Okay? And I'll straighten up my edges, or I might not. Again, I want it to look a little vintage. Okay, so then this is going to come in. And I'm hoping this will hold my recipe card, to be honest with you. Okay, so we've got this nice line along this bottom. Let's take advantage. Let's take advantage. Okay, and then I'm going to simply bevel those sides. And then for the top, we're going to cut out this much. We're going to cut here, kind of at an angle. And cut here, kind of at an angle. Then we're going to fold this guy in. And that will give our bag some stability. Did this stick finally? Oh yeah, that stuck. We can stick to Laneco. Haha! You suppose they give me a job with a jingle? You can stick with Laneco. Because with the Laneco, everything sticks. That was just a joke, guys. Unless, of course, they call me and offer me a job. I'll be like, oh, sure, yeah, heck yeah. Sponsor me. Or let me, yeah, sponsor me. That's the word we're going for. Okay, so that's the top. Now we're going to work on the piece that gets glued down. The bag, the actual bag. Okay, so for this one, we're going to run a bead of glue from the bottom all the way up to the top, and from the top all the way to the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to fold it very carefully back over. And what that does is it seals our bag from top to bottom. And this way, then we glue this piece. Perfect. Okay, now we've made a goodie bag, and I'll save these and I'll glue those to a something, cluster, tag, card, or something. So then we're just going to clip, and close. Okay, so it'll open here. You can put your goodies inside. Oh, it did, guys. Almost perfect. If it had been like a 32nd, 1/32 of an inch bigger, but it will hold. I don't think it'll go this way though. Nope. I might make one bigger to hold my cards, like bigger and skinnier. You know what I mean? So I can slide all my cards in. But anyhow, there is my envelope. My goodie bag. You can put cookies or snacks or whatever. So lots of things you can do with, you can cover cards with them, tags with them. You could put this as a tag. I just want to glue it level, you know, get it get it right, and then I can cut it. Then I can trim it, right? There's lots you could do with this. Like, before I turned it into a tag, I could have run a shape through it in my Cricut Maker. Got that on the brain, don't I? In my die cutting machine, and then put a picture in the center of maybe a cup of coffee, piece of pie, you know, any number of things. All right, so we're going to cut. I like to take advantage of lines. So we'll cut here. And then we'll cut here. And now we have a tag. Or maybe you want to make these into the tea bag holders. Get you a template for a tea bag holder. That might be fun. And then just make sure these are stuck. Again, because this paper has a waxy feel to it. That might be the only way to get them to close. You could sew them too. So there we go. We have a tag. We have a journaling card or a recipe card. And we have a goodie bag. You could also do ruffles. You could do ruffles for a recipe book. That could be fun. You're just going to fold it. Right? Just like that. All the way down. Pleat it. Okay, there's one. And then you could just sew down the edge. Just so. And if you don't want to sew, you can always do a little bead of glue, press, glue, press, glue, and so on and so forth. All the way down. And then you can connect another piece. So that's what I bought this parchment paper for, was to use it in journals. And this prompt gave me a reason to use it. Okay, there we go. If you had some way of cutting it into circles, like you could use, I guess you could maybe use your Cricut Maker if you had one, or Cricut, or Air Explorer, or Silhouette, or Cameo, or whichever one you have. And we'll switch it over to the back. We'll glue these down briefly. Now, if you're going to glue this right away to your paper, you might not need to do all of this, because this would stay down via the page you put it on. So there is that idea. And then you all know a while back I was doing this whole bead making thing, so you could actually do beads with it if you can get it to catch. Boy, I tell you, today, for whatever reason, feels like Sunday to me. I don't know why. This is kind of hard to roll. So this one I might do a different way. It is only Saturday, isn't it, guys? Wow. That's nuts. It feels like, well, see, I'm pre-filming, but it definitely has a Sunday feel. Okay, come on, open up. I know you're, see, when you don't want it to glue. There we go. Okay, so then we'll start the roll. Sometimes you just got to do it a little bit different. Seems like my husband went to get his hat refelted. Steamed, refelted. I think they call it felting. Because, yeah, we're going to have to do this one because of the slipperiness of this kind of paper. We have to do this a little different. Okay. You could make beads with it, though, is my point. And I'll just roll this one up and show you. Although I don't recommend it. If you were going to do this, I would do a paper bead and then put it on the paper bead. Let's try that. Only because of, like I said, it's very slippery. Very slippery. And it did not want to cooperate with me. It's kind of flimsy, but I feel like if you did a paper bead first, that you could pull it off. Let's try this. Let's see what we have. Oh, that paper's kind of fragile. Let's do this in half again. Oh, and boy, do I have something cool coming up. You guys are going to have to stick around. It's an idea I got from watching somebody else. And now I wish I could remember who the somebody else was. So, because I don't know who it was, I will say it's not my idea, but I'm going to expand on it. I'm going to use a combination of ideas. Okay, so this paper is very old and very not workable. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Yeah, it just did not want to roll. There we go. That'll work. Okay, so we're going to roll this up. And the one thing I got to be really careful with is that pokey part. I'm not fond of being puncture wound. Okay. I hear my dog hitting the screen door. Okay, so now we're gonna glue this piece well. Okay, so there we have our bead. Okay, now say we really liked this stuff very much. Oh, I pulled my ruffle undone. That's pretty stiff, but that might work. So let's cut this in half. We're gonna leave part of it sticking out. And this is all kinds of fun stuff that you can do with parchment paper. Okay, so we're going to glue you here. All right, and then we're going to wrap it around. Yes, we are. Keeping it as even as we can. Okay, and then I think we better glue as we go on this one too, only because it's slippery. Okay, so then there we go. This part we're going to glue super good. Okay, we're going to try and keep it lined up. Okay, we're going to press this down. This is the most important part right here. One of. Because they do tend to roll easy. Okay, so there. Now we have a parchment bead paper bead. Parchment paper bead. Parchment paper bead. Perfect. Okay? Maybe that's what you want to do. You want to send somebody a baggie full of homemade beads, a recipe card, a tag, and you could also make gift bags with these. And that is another video all in of itself. Folks, I want to appreciate you for coming along. Thank you for the opportunity to do the open collab, Jennifer, over at Scrapbook and Memories. She does some really cool stuff. I will put a link to her channel in the description box. And this is the last prompt. So tell me what you guys think. And I hope, Jennifer, you will do this again. Thanks, guys, for coming along. I'll catch you in the next video.